Hi guys, it's Abby with the Bead Place, and today we're going to show you how to make these fun Kushukuru bracelets. Kushukuru means grateful in Swahili, which is the language of the Kenyan women who make the paper beads that we're using in this project. The paper beads are fair trade, which means they are made by women who get paid fair wages for what they do. So these women often are the sole providers for their families, and they get educational opportunities for their children. So it's a great cause to support. So as we're making these bracelets, we're going to think about all the things that we're grateful for. The first thing that we want to do is start with about 5 loops of memory wire. This is a small size of memory wire. You want to start with a size that is tight around your wrist. We're using lightweight beads, so that is going to be perfectly fine for a memory wire bracelet. So we start a memory wire bracelet by taking our round nose pliers, and we're going to take the end of the memory wire bracelet. This is going to take a little bit of muscle, and what we're going to do is bend a loop in the memory wire. Now, I prefer bending my loops outwards versus inwards. Sometimes if they are inwards, it is kind of painful if they dig into your wrist. So I like to bend them outwards, but it's totally okay if you bend them the other way.
Is it true that if you bend them in, they are less likely to snag your clothes?
Not if you bend it in a complete closed circle. It shouldn't snag your clothes either way. But if you feel that there's a little bit of a rough spot, you can always go back in and adjust just by grabbing and bending with your pliers. But you always want to make sure that the very end right there is facing and touching this wire that's underneath it. So what I like to do when I start a memory wire bracelet, especially if the memory wire is kind of curly and hard to work with, I will separate the little springs and then give it a couple
like
tugs.
When a slinky gets knotted up.
Yep, definitely. So I will hold it like this and actually give it a couple tugs, and that's going to kind of stretch the memory wire out just a little bit, and it's going to make it easier for us to work with. So now it's less likely to tangle. So what I like to do in order to string my beads is I kind of use the memory wire like it's a needle, and I'll scoop up some of the smaller beads. Now some of the paper beads have holes that are a little bit difficult, but if you push, they'll be able to go on a bit more easily. So I like to start my Kushukuru bracelets off with 1 seed bead. This is a size 8 seed bead, and notice how I'm just kind of doing that to work it down to the bottom. You can do that. Then you can add your accent beads. We're using these fun check glass beads that look like trade beads. So you can slide those down. I think I'm going to do another black seed bead and then maybe a paper bead. So you can do whatever fun little sections you'd like. Some of the longer paper beads are not going to be as easy to slide on, but you can kind of rework your memory wire so it's straight in order to get it on in the first place, and then kind of bend it back into the circle shape.
If I can't get it onto my memory wire, I sometimes take a sturdy head pin and I will grab the pliers and poke it through.
That's a very good tip. So this is what we have so far, and notice how the little curl on the memory wire is stopping the beads from falling off. Now, because of the magic of a YouTube video, we're going to move on to this bracelet that I have almost completed. So I just have a little earring stopper on the back of it. That's one tip that I can share with you. If you're going to need to take a break halfway through your project, you can put a little ear wire stopper on it, and it's going to stop your beads from falling off the end. So this is what I've done so far. And what I'm going to need to do is take a memory wire cutter and trim this down so it's about twice the length as my loop on the other side. So it is very important to make sure you're using a specific cutter for memory wire. You can't use your regular wire cutter because it will really damage your cutter. So
when we did our workshop, we had several customers that came in and bought the memory wire cutters because they ruined their regular cutters.
Definitely, yep. So we want to make sure that when you're cutting, you either put your finger on the other end here so that the little piece doesn't fly off, or kind of cover what you're cutting, because that little piece hurts when it hurts when you put it in your eye. So now what we're going to do is take our round nose pliers again and just very carefully curl it backwards on itself to create that last loop. And so see how the bead just kind of tucks up there? So it looks like that.
Fun.
So our last step is to add a little charm. So you can choose a charm that's symbolic of something that you're grateful for. And what you're going to do is either use a jump ring to attach it directly onto the last loop, or you can put it right in the middle of your bracelet like I did here. So by middle, I mean in the middle of one of the bottom strands. I don't mean actually in the middle of the bracelet, because then it could kind of be annoying when you wear it and not really hang the way it's supposed to. So you want to open your jump ring with the break at 12 o'clock. I have 2 chain nose pliers here. I'm not using my round nose pliers for this. So I'm going to open my jump ring in this direction. So always like this and never like this. So like this and not like this. So now what I'm going to do is slide my charm in and hook that right there and go in and close it. So now we have a fun Kushukuru bracelet. So you can make them in however many loops you want. This is just one loop that you could wear as a cuff. This one is done with oval memory wire. Carolyn, our cameraman, actually made this one. So if you have wrists that are a little bit more oval shaped, we do have oval shaped memory wires. And you can add in a little bit of metallic flair if you want to make it a little bit more flashy. So you can really change these up depending on how you want them to look. The kits will be available in our website, www.beadplace.net. Make sure to like us on Facebook if you want to see more, subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment if you enjoyed it or have any questions. So thanks for watching.